here with the latest. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer is with us. Chairman Comer, let's start with the 4 people that you, in fact, are going to have transcribed interviews with, and the president's doctor, Kevin O'Connor. I would imagine there are a lot of other people you want to talk to, too, but let's start with these 5.
Yeah, well, obviously the physician, he's the one that continuously told America that Joe Biden was in tip-top physical condition. He was mentally sharp. He was physically sharp. We now know that to be 100% false. The 4 staffers aren't well-known staffers. These 4 staffers operated behind the scenes. But while we're starting with them, Sean, we believe these are the staffers that were responsible for using the auto pen. Someone got documents and manually placed them in the machine and pressed the power button to sign Joe Biden's signature. That was not Joe Biden. That was done by staffers. That would be done by any staffer. So we believe and have good reason to believe these are the 4 staffers that were responsible for that. We want to ask them, who gave you the authority to use Joe Biden's signature? And we'll go from there. Obviously, we believe that some of the names, like the chief of staff and perhaps the first lady, were involved in a lot of the decision making. If that's where the trail leads, then we'll bring them in as well. But we're going to get answers to all the questions that every American deserves answers to.
You mentioned Jill Biden. You mentioned, I would assume, Hunter Biden would be called in. Now, Hunter, had a preemptive pardon. So did his brother, Jim Biden. I would assume that they're not allowed to claim plead the 5th. Will every person that you bring in be put under oath? And do you think you're going to need to bring in these family members? And what about Ron Klain? And what about the other people close to him?
I would say Ron Klain's a very good bet. But again, we're going to see where the trail leads, just like we did in the Biden influence peddling investigation. We followed the money. We found the shell companies. We found the bank accounts. We're going to do the same thing with this auto pen. Who was giving the authority for use of the auto pen? Remember, Sean, there was more activity in the last 100 days of the Biden administration than the first 3.5 years of the Biden administration. Many of the far-reaching executive orders were signed during the last 100 days, and they were all signed by the auto pen. We don't believe that you can sign a legal document with an auto pen. If I issue a subpoena, I have to fly to Washington, D.C. to manually sign my signature on that subpoena. Anything pertaining to the law has to be signed by a person. We know the auto pen was used. No one in the Biden administration is denying that the auto pen was used. No one now is denying that Joe Biden wasn't, mentally fit to make some of these decisions. So what I can tell you tonight is the 4 staffers that we've asked to come in for transcribed interviews, they have all lawyered up. They are taking this very seriously, and this is going to be a battle to get to the truth.
In light of the Hur report and the tapes that were released and what a cognitive mess Joe was, would it even be worthwhile to bring him in? I mean, I would have to argue probably not.
Well, I mean, again, we're going to see who was giving the directive to sign these. If everyone says it was Joe Biden, then I'm certainly open to bring him in. It's harder to bring in a former president. The Democrats tried to bring Donald Trump into some things, but at any rate, wherever the trail leads is where we're going to bring them in. And look, I would love to ask Joe Biden a lot of questions, but right now we're starting with the staffers who are operating the auto pen. We're going to bring the physician, Dr. O'Connor, in because he definitely was not telling the truth about Joe Biden's health. We're going to have Ronnie Jackson there to counsel us on a lot of questions. We're very fortunate to have a member of Congress that was the previous White House physician. So I think we're going to be ready to go. And again, even the liberal media, Sean, wants to know the answers to these questions. No one's attacking me for wanting to conduct this investigation. Everyone wants to know the truth, and hopefully we'll be able to find the truth.
Maybe you can ask the doctor why he didn't give Joe Biden a simple PSA test since 2014, according to reports. Chairman Comer, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.